Alrighty, what's going on, PokeMoshPit? My name is Rich, or Inert Fury, however on Earth you know me. I hope y'all are having a good holiday break. I hope that y'all are at least out of school by now for the holidays, because, I mean, if y'all aren't, you either have got to go and talk to your school district or your university, whichever one that you're in, respectively, and you need to tell them, hey, dude, we need to get on out of here. This is crazy. So, anyways, I've got a match here today that I had against HydreigonMaster635. It is an Ubers battle. I'm not sure if I mentioned that already, but yeah, Ubers is pretty much like all I play. So, let's just go ahead and jump right on into the team preview. Some of you might recognize this team, some of you might not. It is a team that I made with my friend NBZ, also known as Emperor ZNB on YouTube. But yeah, it consists of a standard defensive Stealth Rock Groudon, a Spike specialty defensive support Fortress, a Timid Choice Scarf Reshiram, an Arceus type, which I will reveal like second turn of the match, a substitute Dragon Tail Shuffling Giratina Origin Form, and then the biggest threat of them all, a bulky sub Ho-Oh. So, looking at my opponent's team, first thing I see, he has no weather. You know what that means? The man's got threats. He's got Mewtwo, which is really threatening, Thundurus, which is going to be the one thing that's going to have to shut down my Reshiram by potentially paralyzing me with a Prankster Thunder Wave, Palkia, which is always freaking scary, Giratina Origin Form, and an Arceus. Now, initially looking at this team, at first glance, the only thing that could possibly be a Steel type is Arceus, so it looks like Draco Meteor and Dragon Pulse from Reshiram can slowly but surely just belt down his team as long as I can get up my respective entry hazards, and as long as I can shuffle his team around, I should be pretty much in the driver's seat. Now, looking at potential leads, I have absolutely no reason not to lead my Groudon. I figure I might as well just go ahead and get the weather up. First turn, he has no possible weather to counteract me at all, unless one of his guys actually has like Sandstorm or Hail or something like that, which none of them you can get. So I'm thinking he might either want to lead with, probably one of his threats, maybe his Gliscor, because it looks like that's the only thing that can possibly get rocks, unless his Arceus is more of a supporting Arceus set. So anyways, let's just go ahead and jump right into the match. So like I said, I do opt to lead with Groudon. He does lead with Gliscor. I'm partially kind of fearing the taunt, so I'm going to go out into my Arceus, which is a Sun Support Arceus Water set. Now I know that some of you might initially look at this and think, Rich, why on earth are you running Arceus Water on a Sun team? Well, let me just go ahead and give you just a quick little tip about Arceus Water on the Sun team. It is a really good Choice Scarf Kyogre check and a Choice Scarf Palkia check. Pretty much, I have 252 HP, 200 special defense, and 56 speed investment, and I am a calm nature. Pretty much the only thing that Kyogre can hit me for super effective with is a Thunder. When I have Sun up, Kyogre pretty much can't really touch me. Same thing goes with Palkia. The only thing Palkia can really do to me is Thunder, but again, I have Thunder Wave to pretty much stop Choice Scarf users such as Palkia and Kyogre. So, yeah, I paralyzed him. I went for Ice Beam just to do some damage. He went for Spatial Rend. I could tell from the crit damage that he is Timid Scarf, which is the most common Palkia set. So I'm going to go into Fortress. He does get paralyzed. That wouldn't have mattered. I will explain later why that would not have mattered. So I just Volt Switch right out. He goes into Mewtwo, and this thing scares me. So I'm going to go into Reshiram. I'm going to threaten with the Blue Flare, and I thought he would just sacrifice Palkia right here, because I mean, it's pretty much useless at this point. Paralyzed Scarf, not really great. So I do go for Draco Meteor. Probably honestly should have gone for Blue Flare, because most I'm not sure how how much this guy plays Ubers or not, but I mean most people generally whenever they see Reshiram, it's like a spec set. So maybe he was thinking it was specs. But he has Psycho Cut, and before you all freak out, that was something I've been wanting to try on Mewtwo. It was it's a bulk up set with Psycho Cut, Drain Punch, and I forget what his last move was. But yeah, so anyway, that goes off, and Giratina Origin Form comes in. Don't want to stay in, go out to Arceus Water. He gets a crit that actually did wind up mattering a whole lot. Basically, I would have been able to have lived a Shadow Sneak, and because he was an Adamant Giratina, I would have outsped him and at least gotten off some Ice Beam damage. So that's going to come back to play a huge factor later on. So yeah, I'm just going to go into Groudon and get my Rock Stuff. He missed Will-O-Wisp, that honestly didn't matter. I'm not going to be able to really get off an attack with this Groudon. I pretty much just wanted to set up rocks and start phasing his team away. So, like I said, that's what happens. He goes for an Outrage. That does almost a third, and I am, like, almost max HP. Impish full defense, so yeah, I know that's definitely an Adamant Giratina. I'm not sure how much speed investment he's running though, so that's going to play in a little bit of a factor later on as well. So I go into Fortress on the Gliscor, predicting the Toxic, which I do get. So I'm going to go for a Toxic of my own, predicting his Giratina to come back in, and he freaking has Arceus Steel, which is another very, very, very good Arceus type. I think it's like the third most used, if I remember my usage stats correctly. So anyways, like I said, Will-O-Wisp miss on Groudon didn't matter because I just switched it in right here to pretty much die to a Fire Blast, which I was kind of scouting to make sure that he had, which he does. So I'm like, okay, cool, this works. So I'm going to go into my own Giratina Origin form. Like I said earlier, I am a substitute shuffler set, so my set is Adamant, a whole lot of HP, max attack, and then a little bit of speed, just a speed creep standard mixed Giratina spreads, which one the 36, 36, 36 EV spread. And so basically, yeah, he switches out, goes into Palkia. This is perfect. I can go ahead and kill this thing off with a Dragon Tail after he breaks my sub with a Spatial Rend. So yeah, dead Palkia, always a good Palkia. Always remember that. Getting rid of Palkia is probably one of the best things you could ever do, ever. So right here, he brings in Giratina O. I'm kind of hoping that he'll either overpredict or go for Earthquake, or he'll try and, you know, outspeed me, just get off some damage with Shadow Sneak, which he finally he decides to do the last one, which works out great for me. I'm able to live with 16 HP left over after I make the substitute. And this is where the crit on Arceus with the Earthquake mattered, because had I would have gotten off some Ice Beam damage, that man would have either died right there or would have not been able to have lived another Stealth Rock switch in. So pretty much what that would have meant was that after I got Toxic by this Gliscor, or he brought in whatever else, the only thing he could have done is if his Thundurus had Thunder Wave, he could have brought it in on my Reshiram after I had gotten a kill and then paralyzed it. Because I mean, at this point, with that Giratina Origin form dead, all I have to do is pretty much just switch this in, click Blue Flare, and pretty much just win again, so long as his Thundurus does not have Thunder Wave. So, but that's not the case. He goes into Gliscor right here, pretty much just Death Fodder. I mean, it's set up rocks. That's all it needs to do. I've got a Reshiram, there's no way in hell this is going to be his best Death Fodder for a really good pivot switch back over into his Giratina Origin form. Now, I figured that at this point, Ho-Oh is pretty much going to be my saving grace for the remainder of the match. So, Reshiram could have really done more, potentially, but, you know, hacks is hacks. You can't really complain about it, you can't do anything about it, you just gotta, like Joey says, embrace it. So, I'm kind of hoping again he'll go for Shadow Sneak right here so I can try and get off some recovery damage. Recovery damage? Wow, what on earth am I talking about? Some health with recover. So, at this point, I really don't know why I didn't switch over into... Oh, I guess because I figured I could take one more Outrage, just get off recover again, and then be at a sufficient amount of health after I get the recover off, and then switch out and get the regenerator health gain as well. So he does lock himself into Outrage right here, so I know that I can go into Fortress, fire off a Toxic, hope that I can get a 3-turn Outrage, so that way I can at least try and get a safe switch into Ho-Oh against either his Thundurus or his Arceus Steel. Now, I'm not entirely sure what his Arceus Steel set still is. All I know is that it has Fire Blast. It could still be a supporting set. It could still be an offensive set. I'm still not sure, so I have to try and figure that out. Also, the paralyzation on Palkia that happened against Fortress way back when, maximum damage with my EV spread for Spatial Rend to do was 107, and as you saw there, I lived on 110. So unless you got a crit with Spatial Rend, which again does have a higher critical hit ratio, the paralyzation on Palkia really wasn't too crucial. So, yeah, he's going to go into Arceus right here, and again, I just need to get a safe switch over into Ho-Oh. He does go for Fire Blast. Again, killing off my Fortress. I keep on wanting to call it Ferrothorn because I freaking have it nicknamed like that. So now it's pretty much just down to, I just don't know what his moveset is. So right here, I'm just going to go for Recover just to scout. I do see Calm Mind, so honestly right here, the Thunderbolt was like really threatening. But as you're about to see, he actually doesn't have it. He has Judgment, Recover, Fire Blast, and Calm Mind, which I'd personally recommend, you know, another coverage move like a Thunderbolt or an Ice Beam maybe. But anyways, it's not really going to come down to matter, at least at this point, at least from his current set. So yeah, I'm pretty much just going to be able to just one-shot that thing massively with the Sun Boosted Sacred Fire, Adamant Max Attack, Ho-Oh, let's go! Okay, so yeah, pretty much at this point, it all just comes down to the wire. I was fairly certain he wasn't like some kind of weird, like, modest specs set or anything, so I pretty much knew that I could take at least one Thunderbolt from this, and then, yeah, just finish him up with a Sacred Fire. So, yeah, that's honestly pretty much it. I'm just going to hit him with a Sacred Fire right here, and that's going to be really good. You know, Ho-Oh, after that one PO match where you missed me 3 Sacred Fires that wound up costing both of us the game, you know, I figured that little bit of a, you know, like a pep talk afterwards would be really beneficial to you. But I see that has done absolutely nothing in this current scenario, so... Oh, man, I don't know. But yeah, that Sacred Fire miss, nah, I didn't embrace. And that's what happens when you don't embrace. You get smashed. So yeah, that was a... Regardless of that, that was still a very good, very intense match, all the way down to the wire. Great game, Cody. Very well played. Guys, thank you for watching. Really do appreciate it. I hope y'all have a very Merry Christmas, Merry Hanukkah, Merry Kwanzaa, Merry whatever on earth you might celebrate that isn't one of those 3 main holidays. Come check out my page, go check out Cody, go sub to MoshPit and sub to Beta as well. And also go swing by Beta and check out Cody's side of the battle, which should be up today as well. So thanks again, guys, and I will see you next time. Take care.